Hello and welcome to the Westvale Archives. My name is Jenna. I am an author-illustrator from Newfoundland, Canada, and this is my booktube/authortube platform. You may also know me from my art channel, Jenna Gets Creative. Today I'm going to be going through my full review of The Cyborg Tinkerer by Meg Letore. This is a steampunk space opera novel that releases on November 17th of this year, and I rate it 5 stars. You're going to want to read it. You may have already heard me talking about this book in a few other videos, particularly the TCT book tag I did quite recently. I am on Meg Letore's street team, which means I did get a free advanced reading copy of this book, and I was asked to review it. I am being asked now to put this review out. I would have done that anyway, and this review is entirely honest. It is completely my honest opinion, and I genuinely do rate it 5 stars. I am not just kissing ass here. Before I go on, just quick acknowledgement of the look here. I know I am not wearing my usual pink sweater. It's way too hot here this week. The Cyborg Tinkerer is a steampunk space opera science fiction. By space opera, I mean it is character driven. It's not a hard sci-fi. By steampunk, I mean we have a version of the future as imagined from the point of view of somebody in, say, the Victorian era, when steam was the technology of the day, and so technology for the future here has been imagined from that standpoint. In this case, Meg was very clearly influenced by the Treasure Planet type of steampunk, where you have actual ships out in space, that sort of thing. She has made some unique decisions for the technology in the world that I absolutely love, such as digital technology actually exists, but it's rare and it's not cheap. When the book opens, we meet our main character, Gwen. She is a ship tinkerer, but she's retiring early because she has a brain tumor, and it's going to kill her in a matter of months because she does not have the funds to afford the surgery that would save her life, potentially. The planet she has touched down on when she's leaving her job on the ship that she was on happens to be hosting the Cirque du Borg, the Circus of Cyborgs. And this is a very hush-hush event because cyborgs are illegal in this planetary system. It's illegal to make new cyborgs, it's illegal to fix cyborgs, it's illegal to pass on knowledge about the technology of cybernetic implants. It's not illegal to be a cyborg if you already were one, but of course the stigma follows. So of course this entire circus is illegal. Setting down in this planetary system is dangerous, but they've got to do it. They've got to make their money. So she figures, why not? Let's go attend the circus. She goes, she checks it out, she has a lot of fun there. She's admiring an acrobat in particular. She meets somebody, she goes off, she has a little hanky-panky, and then law enforcement arrives, shuts down the circus. She's one of the people who is caught because she has a fainting spell, and she thinks she's gonna die in prison now because she can't afford to bail herself out. But the ringleader of the circus, Bastion, comes along and says, hey, I've got an offer you can't refuse. Why don't you sign on to the Cyborg Circus, be our Cyborg Tinkerer for 13 years, no less. You can stay after if you want, and we will fix you. We will give you the surgery that you need to live. It will make you into a cyborg, you will have cybernetic implants, and you will begin the forgetting. You will eventually not remember anything about your human life, but you will live. So she takes it, she becomes the Cyborg Tinkerer, and she soon finds out that Bastion wasn't completely forthcoming with her about what exactly the job would entail, and even he's surprised about some of the events that start happening because, as it turns out, the circus is going to be going through a little bit of a paring down, and there is a tournament held to determine which acts are safe. And if your act is not safe, your contract is terminated. Our main characters are Gwen, the Cyborg Tinkerer, Bastion, the ringleader, and Rora, the acrobat, who just so happens to be the one who Gwen was admiring when she first attended the circus. This book has everything you could want if you are a genre fiction reader. It is science fiction, it's steampunk, it is action, it's thriller, it's a little bit mystery, it has a very steamy romantic subplot, it has LGBTQIA representation, it has BIPOC representation. Only Gwen is white, none of that the main trio are straight, and they are in the most well-written, most maturely written love triangle I have read in a very long time. I'm on Team Bastion, by the way, but if you've read it, or if you read it in the future and you want to come back here and tell me, which team are you on? Are you Team Rora or Team Bastion? This novel is written in 2 points of view, and I think it's handled very well. For the most part, we are reading Gwen's point of view, but we do have switches into Rora's point of view for entire chapters. And yeah, it was handled flawlessly. At no point did I want to hop back into the other character. The transitions happened right where they should have been, and the narrative voices were distinct enough that I always knew immediately in the first sentence, whether anybody was named or not, which character we were reading from. I really hope in the sequel we get some Bastion point of view. I really think Meg could handle that well, whether we switch to only having Gwen and Bastion, or whether we have all 3. Either would work for me. I really want to get into Bastion's head a little more next time. So I already told you why Gwen is here and what her motivations are. Let's talk about Rora and Bastion for a minute. Rora, our acrobat, she really wants to secure patronage with the Emperor of the planetary system. That has always been her goal, even before she was a cyborg. It's still her goal now, and it turns out this tournament has something to do with performing for the Emperor, so now she is really determined. And we're going to begin this story with her seducing Gwen under ulterior motives. She wants this cyborg tinkerer, who is new and perhaps not completely versed in the rules of the Cirque du Bourg handbook. She wants Gwen to make her a new cyborg implant, which is not something that the Tinkerer is allowed to do. So she's a very goal-oriented character. This is all she cares about for quite a lot of the book. If you watched my TCT book tag video, you will know that my favorite romance trope is the fake-to-real turn, and that's obviously what's going to happen here with Gwen and Rora. Bastion, our ringleader, he is escaping a life that he was ashamed of, and for some reason he's not forgetting as fast as the other cyborgs. This really distresses him. He's very layered. He's like an onion, as Shrek would say. When you break through, when you get to know him, he is definitely somebody who you could fall in love with and empathize with, but he has a very hard outer shell. He's definitely one of those misunderstood bad guys in the beginning. I really love the way he's written, and I think I like him more than Aurora in terms of the love triangle, just because I love morally gray and misunderstood characters so much. And even though I really love the fake to real turn in terms of romance tropes, kind of have a little bit of a grudge against Aurora for how much she holds on to her goals ahead of everything else. The supporting cast is also written so well. We have Celeste Beckett, who is the mistress of the circus. She's running the show. She is above Bastion. She wants Bastion back as her apprentice. That's what he used to be, and he went off to be a ringleader because he likes leading and he likes making sure everybody in his little family is protected. She really wants Bastion back as her apprentice, doing the cyborg management. She's also the one responsible for the tournament that is going on. We have our villains like Abrakan and Thaniel. Abrakan he's icky when you first meet him. He thinks he's God's gift to women, and your opinion of him really doesn't improve as the book goes on. Thaniel he's one of Abrakan's thugs. He probably could have been a good guy in another situation, but he made friends with a bad guy, that kind of guy. We also have Marzana and Akio. They are also acrobats. They're a pair act, so they're being considered for keeping or elimination together. And they are Rora's closest friends in the circus. I must admit, Akio's name, I I was always thinking of the spell Accio, and I really wish that that had been played off of subtly, like he had caught something in a, 1 in a million chance kind of way or something like that. That was only after I stopped switching the letters around in my head and calling him Aiko, because when I was a teenager we had international students staying in our house all the time, and we had not one but 2 students stay with us whose name was Aiko. My brain also wanted to put an extra K in there and say Akiko. This really is a captivating read. Like I said, action, thriller, mystery, romance, all the science fiction type stuff you love if you love steampunk and space opera. Really isn't a hard sci-fi. If you are there for completely possible technology, this isn't it. If you're in for more of a fantastical sci-fi, this is it. Potential trigger warnings for this book: there is death, there's a little bit of body horror because of course these are cyborgs and they need to have body parts removed to have cybernetic implants, and then they need to have these tinkered with. There is a character with an eating disorder. There's a whole lot of lust and steamy sex scenes. There is a polygamous relationship, the love triangle, and we do actually go as far as some tastefully but well described sex scenes. So if you're okay with everything else but you're not okay with a polygamous LGBTQIA representative sex scene, then there's one chapter near the end that you're gonna want to skip. Meg is doing a pre-order giveaway. If you pre-order the Cyborg Tinkerer anywhere that it's being sold and provide proof in her giveaway form, you will be entered to win one of many prizes. And she's got great prizes. I won a t-shirt from her store in one of our Street Team games, and I'm kind of disappointed it's not here in time to wear for this video. She may also still be taking applications for ARC readers, so if you're really interested in reading this one ahead of time, check out the links that I have left down below. She may still have the ARC reader application form open. Thanks so much for watching. I upload here every Saturday, and then sometimes I have an additional bonus video. If you've been watching my recent videos, if you watch some of the ones that are going to be coming up that I pre-filmed, I will say that the bonus videos are Mondays. I keep forgetting about Mondays, so I'm just going to say the bonus video could be any other day of the week. It's probably not going to be Tuesday or Thursday because those are my art channel days. There will be a companion blog post for this if you want to just read my review. It will pretty much be a copy-paste from the review I posted to Goodreads with a few extra little things added in. Thanks. Bye guys.